Okay. Another important question. You have got 70% chance. The questions that we have already discussed, they have 100% coming onto Rhcsa paper. This question, Setfacl, Setfacl question giving special permission to a user to access or deny the access, you know. So you may get this question on the exam, therefore I just wanted to add this in my list. Okay, so what is the reason to use this Setfacl? Setfacl is a kind of a special permission. For example, normal permissions are you have user. For example, if I create a file ls-l, let's see. So for normal, we have this read user, group and other permissions, right? We have user permission, group permissions and other permissions, right? And these are read, write, execute, whatever we want to give, read, write, execute and read, write, execute. So if we give a permission, for example, I create a file touch test3 and ls-l test3. If I list its permission, this file user has read write, group has read, others have read, and honors honor is root and group honor is root, right? So if I want any other user to even write in this file, execute this file, this is the root, so normal user cannot write it. Even if so if you want to allow a specific user to do certain changes in this file, so you can and you just don't want to add him into this any group, so what you're going to do, you're going to assign him special permission for a specific time period, or you can deny, okay, everybody is allowed to read this file except user John, he should be blocked to read this file. You can do is, or nobody is allowed, nor the group nor the others, to write into this file or execute into this file, but you have to allow user Cosmo to read, write and execute this file. So what you're going to do, I can use Setfacl and assign special permission to this Cosmo to read, write and execute in this file, or special permission to John that he cannot, all can read file, but John will not be able to read the file. So this is the use of special permission Setfacl. In simple word, assigning special permission to a user, whether to allow him, whether to deny him. So we will not go into the detail, just understand the concept, how we are going to execute this question, practice it 2-3 times and you will be good. So let's read the question. Create two new users, Cosmos and Peterman. No, there will be already be users in the exams. Cosmo and Peterman. The user Cosmo can read the file and Peterman can. First, let's read the question. Copy /HCFS tab to /var temp. First thing to do, because we have to copy from /HC, there should understood we have to do it as a root user. So let's copy which file? Copy /HCFS tab to /tmp /var /tmp. We have to copy it and it will be automatically given name of FS tab because we are not specifying the name. So let's verify that if the file was copied, yes, the file we just copied, we were able to copy it and here are its permission, right? And let's understand further. Copy, this was the first task, copy HCFS tab to var temp. We did that and we have the file. Let's read the other conditions. The file /var/temp/fs tab which you have made, should be owned by user root. So let's see who is the owner. It is already owned by root. So this condition is already fulfilled. We just made this file and one condition is full. Let's go to the second condition, that is the file belong to group root, and we know the file the group of this file is root already. That means our second condition is already been met. The third, the file is not executable by anyone. There should be no X permission to anyone, and we can see the permission. There is no X permission to anyone. So that means we have just performed one task and we were able to fulfill these three conditions. Let's read further. Okay, let's go to the last line first. All other user, current or viewer, can read the file. Yes, all other users can read the file. So these are six conditions. Out of these six, except these two, we just copied the file and all four were fulfilled. Only these two conditions we have to alter. Now it is saying, okay, the permissions are set, ownership is set, group ownership is set, everything is good, but I want that user Cosmo can read and write into this file. Normally a normal user cannot enter into this file which has been owned by root, but we have to allow special permission to Cosmo that he can read and write into this file. Therefore we are going to use Setfacl here. Setfacl, the command is setfacl -m, and you want to assign special permission to the user. What is the name of the user? Cosmo. First let me check the user is there. In exam definitely user will be there. ID Cosmo, user is there. So now let's give the permission. Setfacl -m, the user is Cosmo, and you want to give the permission. What permission? Read and write. Read and write. Okay, to which file? The file is under var temp fstab. Clear? So this condition is also been met. And what about this? The user Peterman can neither read or nor write the file. So in the permission we have seen everybody is allowed to read the file, but the question was asked कि block Peterman, he should not, all can read but Peterman cannot read this file. So we are going to assign special permission that Peterman cannot, even the permissions allow everyone to read, but this Peterman user should not be allowed to read the file. First check the Peterman user is there. Yes, and now assign Setfacl -m user is Peterman, and you don't want to give him any permissions, and the file is var tmp fstab. So you have run this command successfully. Let's verify get facl from /var temp fstab and see if we met the requirement that we have assigned. The file should be owned by root. Who is the owner? Root. Should belong to group root. Who is the group? Root. Right. The file is not executable by anyone, user, group and others, nor have X permission. Good. The user Cosmo can read and write the file. The user Cosmo, you see, it has special permission for read and write. User Peterman should not have any permission, not read, not write. Look, it is blocked to have any kind of access to this file. All other users, current or future, can read the file. Others can read the file. So simple commands. Copy the file, and these are the two commands as per the requirement. You practice them and you will be able to assign these permission, and at the end verify get facal and the path to that file, and you will get this detail and you can verify. So you have to practice this. If you practice 3 to 4 times and keep on practicing till you take your exam, if these questions come, 70% are chances that you might get the same question with different user. So you will be able to pass it, inshallah.